So, word in these streets, in these internet streets, for years has been that Amy Pascal tried to assassinate Kevin Feige with a salami sandwich. Yes, that is the rumor that has long time been long standing, and it looks like Amy Pascal has confirmed this rumor right out of her own mouth. Yes, in an article here, she's been doing the rounds, and she has reportedly been talking about Spider-Man 3, and she recounts the day that Kevin Feige came to her and told her what his idea was for Spider-Man's character going forward. So I got the article here, guys. We're going to go ahead and break this down. It's your boy Armand here for E=MCU. And this is one of the funniest stories that was never really confirmed, but I always could see her doing this. And so it was no shock to me. But Amy Pascal, man, just if you could just hear her voice and picture her saying the things she was saying to him, I laugh about it just, all the time, just thinking about it. So, all right, let's go into this. So this also comes from the same author who wrote the story about Agent Carter being confirmed as canon and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not being canon. Okay, so in this book, The Story of the Marvel Studios Making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe by Tara Bennett and Paul Terry, it goes into detail about storied meeting between Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and Sony's Motion Picture Group's chairperson Amy Pascal over the fate of Spider-Man in film. Now, this is a quote from Amy Pascal. With a good sense of how they would like to handle the character, Feige was ready for his lunch with Pascal. What he wasn't ready for was Pascal's reaction to his proposal. The meeting was in her office at Sony. As expected, Pascal wasted no time in expressing her strong desire to have Feige be more directly involved creatively in the making of Sony Pictures' The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Now, excited about the idea of her team currently had, Pascal said she would send Feige the latest draft. About halfway through the delicious sandwich that she had brought in, I said, "Amy, in all fairness, it's not gonna work," shares Feige. And then he goes on to say, "We sort of done that before, and I don't think I'm particularly helpful here." But Feige wasn't done. He had a counter proposal to Amy Pascal. He says, "The only way I know how to do anything is to just do it entirely. So why don't you let us do it? Don't think of it as two studios, and don't think of it as giving another studio back the rights. No change of hands or rights. No change of hands or money. Just engage us to produce it. Just pretend it's like what DC did with Christopher Nolan. I'm not saying we're Nolan, but I am saying there is a production company that is doing this pretty well. Just engage that service of that production company to make the movie." And Pascal was taken back. Now, Pascal was at first quite upset by this, stating that, "I think I started crying and threw him out of my office," but quickly came around to see the merit in Feige's idea. So she goes on to say, "At first, I was super resentful," she admits. "I think I started crying and threw him out of my office or threw a sandwich at him. You don't recall. She was so enraged." It goes on to say, then she started to think it through, and by the fifth Spider-Man movie, we weren't given anything new. And I have to be honest about it, we were trying so hard to be different. We went into places to be different that we shouldn't have. We weren't fresh anymore." Pascal continues, "The lucky thing is Kevin and I come from the same place in terms of how we love Peter. I've been working with Kevin in Spider-Man movies since Sam Raimi's. He would come to meetings, get everybody coffee, and he never said a word for years, which makes you love somebody because then when they do open their mouth, you realize that they've been thinking all the big thoughts and are really smart, but never had to hear themselves talk." Pascal called Feige back the next day after their lunch. and the concept of the collaboration between Sony and Marvel Studios had not left her mind. After hearing his specific thoughts on what to do with Spider-Man in the MCU, she admits the idea of putting him up against a world where everybody had everything and he had nothing was a whole new way of telling his story. I thought, God damn, that guy's smart. And it goes on to say the partnership continues to this day, which we know. Spider-Man was rebooted into the MCU with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, who now possesses the ability to team up with the Avengers and cross over into other movies. And although there was a brief upset in that seemingly happy union in late 2019, cooler heads prevailed, and the character and his movies have continued to be produced by Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. And that's pretty much the article that they have there on it. But this is funny because this had been long rumored that she threw a sandwich at Kevin Feige when he proposed this after the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And seemingly, the funny thing about this story in retrospect is that Kevin Feige got his way. He's the one that came up with the idea to have Marvel Studios produce it as a production company, and that's the reason why you've had this whole team up. At the same time, Amy Pascal kind of won on this as well, because her original idea was to bring Kevin Feige to Sony to have him basically work on the projects there. Now, that would be problematic for Disney if they didn't have the deal that they had, because he works for Disney. He does not work for Sony. He's not a freelance, self-employed person who can just jump from studio to studio and project to project. He works for Disney. So it sounds like that they do have this worked out. Rumor has it that the old deal had it where Marvel Studios produces No Way Home, which is the third and final installment in that trilogy, and then he has one more appearance in the MCU. That has not been stated if that'll be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness or if that'll be an upcoming Avengers film. If they haven't I tend to think that they have renewed or come to some sort of new deal, because like I said, we know Venom has crossed over the multiverse and is now in the MCU. You can kind of see where that's coming into play with Morbius possibly, and for that to have had happened, which could not have happened before Far From Home, leads me to believe that the rumors out there about a new trilogy series with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, and a deal has been struck between Sony and Marvel. So I believe that after No Way Home, Marvel will get to 3 more films, which are rumored to be The College Years and The Amazing Friends and Iceman and Firestar, and whether or not they keep those characters or not, but we'll probably get Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, and a host of other villains. So that's what leads me to believe that that's what's happening, and that's the deal that they struck in 2019. And by that, Kevin Feige is kind of helping them craft the Spider-Verse and have it coincide with the MCU. And he admitted to that on the Eternals red carpet in an interview, in where he does speak about the studios working together to make sure that Venom end credit scene matches up and make sure it fits into what they're trying to do narratively. So it looks like they're playing nice. They've reached a deal. This thing will probably go on until they stop making money, honestly. So that's the hope for it. But yeah, I think that the deal hopefully is as strong as they say it is, and hopefully we get some more information on that if Spider-Man No Way Home actually comes out. Now you have to remember, with these contracts and the deal that Sony has with Marvel, they have to produce a Spider-Man movie every so many years or the rights revert. So there is a chance that the movie can't be pushed back any further because of that fact. Like, that movie may have to come out this year because of the contract that was signed. So we'll just have to wait and see, guys. But let me know down in the comment section, how do you feel about Amy, the salami slinger, Pascal? And do you think she hit Kevin Feige with the sandwich? Do you think that she told him to get out of her office and then threw the sandwich afterwards. She was so enraged she doesn't remember what she did, so he really pissed her off with that notion. And I mean, do you think Feige got those sandwich dodging skills? You think that maybe she tossed one at him and he kind of ducked it, and and he got the hell out of dodge before another one came flying at him? But let me know in the comment section, man. You can have a little fun with that. And if you like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'm out.